Dazzling golden light emanated from the 3 completed quest cards, and Hyrkan secretly marveled as he looked at them. Oh! In the room with bottles neatly arranged on shelves, Ma-Woong recounted Hyrkan's achievements while recalling the fierce, red-eyed monsters the young man before him had vanquished. He slowly summarized, his tone maintaining its usual sternness. 950 armored monkeys, 104 fang wolves, and 76 poisonous lizards. Well done. Thanks to you, the investigation has progressed very smoothly. By the way, what's with that expression? Overwhelmed by the sudden praise, Hyrkan couldn't hide his immense joy. His cheeks puffed up, his eyes narrowed from smiling so widely, and a rosy blush appeared on his face.
Hyrkan scratched his head, giving an awkward laugh. My apologies. I was just pondering where to spend the money I just earned. Ma-Woong interrupted, his tone turning serious as he unrolled an old map onto the table. Please focus, as the next mission will be particularly dangerous. Hyrkan's eyes immediately sharpened, fixing on the map. Ma-Woong's finger pressed firmly on a specific location. Here, near the mountaintop, a bear warrior has appeared. His words conjured a terrifying image in the dim space. Colossal creatures known as bear warriors. They stood up to 4 meters tall, towering like flesh and bone turrets, their eyes glowing red like embers in the dark. Dark, ominous smoke coiled around their brawny bodies, and more frightening still, they were fully equipped with armor and sharp weapons like human warriors. Ma-Woong looked directly at Hyrkan, his sharp gaze filled with urgency. If you can find out where they acquire their weapons, it would be a huge help in uncovering the identity of the corruptor.
Hyrkan looked up, confirming the task in a calm tone. In other words, you want me to defeat them and bring back one of their weapons. I understand. Ma-Woong looked at the young man in front of him, his face etched with worry. Sweat dotted his forehead. He said with concern, "Do you think you'll be all right alone? Even the archers struggle when facing them alone. I think you should find more." "It'll be fine," Hyrkan firmly interjected, cutting off Ma-Woong's fretting. He turned, leaving a chiseled profile for the other man. The morning sun shone, illuminating his confident and somewhat cold smile. "I already know how to deal with them." With that, he stepped out of the room, leaving Ma-Woong with his unfinished worries. Beneath the vast sky, Hyrkan trekked through dense forests, heading towards the majestic mountain range in the distance. Stopping on an old stone path, he unfolded the worn animal skin map. A finger pointed directly at the circled monster head icon, marking the target's location. Looking at the dim, gloomy path ahead, Hyrkan thought to himself, "It's definitely there. I'm almost there."
Hyrkan stood with his bony subordinates, a self-satisfied smile on his lips. He crossed his arms, gazed into the space before him, and declared, "Now is the time to show off a little." With an excited grin, he raised his hand, activating the device on his wrist. Instantly, a virtual trade window glowing with brilliant blue light appeared before his eyes, accompanied by a system message. "You have opened the auction window. You can participate in auctions with other players." Countless weapons, armors, and rare items scrolled across the screen, each with an accompanying price. Standing next to a skeleton warrior, Hyrkan focused on scrolling through the list, muttering to himself, "The best equipment I can buy at my current level is definitely the serpent bone set." An image of a skull wrapped by a ferocious bone serpent amidst glittering gold coins appeared in his mind. Without a moment's hesitation, he immediately proceeded with his purchases. A series of system notifications continuously appeared, confirming his transactions, as gold coins rapidly disappeared from his inventory. "You have purchased serpent bone spalders. You have purchased serpent bone boots. You have purchased serpent bone gauntlets. You have purchased..."
A mystical emerald green energy enveloped Hyrkan, radiating from the new gear he had just donned. A system notification appeared, confirming impressive stats. Defense increased by 70, mana and strength both gained 34. Furthermore, when the full set was equipped, mana consumption would decrease by 10%. The total cost for this upgrade reached 37,896 gold. Hyrkan subtly curved his lips in a satisfied smile, a contented pff escaping him. His delight quickly erupted into maniacal laughter. He looked up at the sky, joyfully shouting, "This is the taste of money! Buy all the skill books within my level range with the remaining gold." Extreme euphoria made him roll on the ground, laughing incessantly before the skeletal soldiers. Immediately, another series of system notifications appeared, confirming the successful purchase of skill books: Soul Erosion, Blind, Muscle Remodel, False Heart, Bone Bomb, and Hardening. An additional 17,593 gold had been spent. After a moment of enjoyment, Hyrkan stood up, dusting off his coat. He pulled up his hood, concealing half his face, but unable to hide his confident smile and sharp eyes. He mumbled, "All right, I'm still a bit far from the bear warriors level, but with these, I'll be able to." Just then, his skeletal soldiers uniformly approached, their eyes shining brightly like stars, looking up at their master expectantly as if asking, "What about us?"
In the virtual space of the shop, Hyrkan spoke. "Ah, right, I almost forgot about you guys." He suddenly remembered his skeleton warriors. He pointed at the shield, an idea flashing in his mind. "Let's see, maybe this will suit the skeletons." But as soon as the purchase intention was confirmed, a cold blue notification appeared right before him. Insufficient funds. The words reflected in his wide eyes, full of surprise. He stammered, "What? I'm out of money? Did I spend all my money?" He turned around, cold sweat breaking out on his forehead, facing the patiently waiting skeleton warriors. With an awkward expression, he hesitantly confessed, Guys, I'm a bit low on money." Immediately, the atmosphere around them grew heavy. Hyrkan was stunned by this sudden change. Their attitude changed? He quickly explained, trying to salvage the situation. I didn't mean to. When I have more money, I will." Clearly, his skeleton subordinates had decided to go on strike, abandoning their master to fend for himself.
He yelled, "That's right, maybe I'll earn more money after hunting that down." Hearing their master's command, the army of skeletons with their glowing blue eyes immediately sprang into action, charging forward with fervent vigor. Hyrkan breathed a sigh of relief, thinking to himself, "Phew, good thing a herd of wild boars passed by at just the right moment. These guys are really strangely obsessed with equipment." Now, only a single wild boar remained. It cowered in a corner, its entire body trembling, eyes welling up with tears, uttering pitiful, quick, quick squeals. Facing it, another skeleton warrior, its eyes now glowing with an eerie purple hue, raised its sharp sword high. The cold blade swung down decisively, ending the prey's final desperate, "Quick, quick!" cry.
Amidst the desolate battlefield, Hyrkan irritably ordered his skeleton soldiers, "Hey, don't waste any more time. Finish it. I'll equip you along the way." Before he could finish, a brilliant red light tore through the night. A massive, destructive energy beam zipped right past Hyrkan. Hyrkan flinched, turning sharply, a hint of bewilderment on his face. "Just now, what was that?" he gasped. "Hey!" A cold, condescending voice echoed from behind. A figure in dark gear slowly approached, heavy boots crunching on the gravelly ground. The person stopped, speaking with authority. "Who do you think you are, daring to hunt here without permission? This area belongs to the Apollo Guild." That name was like a thunderclap. Hyrkan froze, eyes wide with astonishment, a bead of cold sweat slowly trickling down his temple. He stammered, "That's..."
In the gloomy forest, three figures with bulging muscles and bald heads suddenly blocked the path. The leader, with a sinister smile, growled menacingly, "Do you want to die?" All three advanced in unison, their heavy footsteps crushing the damp ground. Hyrkan merely observed silently, a thought of contempt flashing through his mind. Another bunch of small fry. Ignoring Hyrkan's demeanor, the leader puffed out his chest and introduced himself pompously. "My name is Wang Jiang. That's EJ and Iljang. We are the great trio of the Apollo Guild." Upon hearing this, Hyrkan suddenly burst into laughter, a radiant and unusually refreshing smile. So that's it! The very next moment, the smile on his lips vanished. A powerful aura erupted, enveloping Hyrkan's body in a brilliant blue glow. Before the trio could react, he shot forward like lightning, sweeping past them in a single motion. Piercing whoosh, whoosh sounds rang out as energy collided, and all three burly men were mercilessly sent flying before they could even realize what had happened.
Hyrkan clicked his tongue lightly, a look of irritation clearly etched on his face. "Just more losers trying to provoke me," he muttered, his cold gaze sweeping over the scattered bodies. "Why am I attracting so many people like this lately? Maybe I need to see a shaman or something." As soon as he finished speaking, he idly kicked a nearby prone figure, causing another groan. Feeling it wasn't worth wasting more time, Hyrkan turned his back on the battlefield. "I've just wasted my time here. Let's go, skeletons." Hearing the command, his skeleton army immediately scurried after him, quickly vanishing deep into the dense forest. Once their shadows disappeared, one of the defeated players struggled to get up. He gritted his teeth, glaring hatefully in the direction Hyrkan had just gone. Ugh, you dare lay hands on our guild? We'll make you regret it. Muttering curses, he shakily raised his hand, activating a watch-like communication device on his wrist. A faint blue light flickered. Somewhere far away, in the dim light, a hand adorned with sparkling rings was gently stroking the striped fur of a giant tiger. The beast let out a low growl in its throat, its bright golden eyes glowing. Its master suddenly paused, seemingly having just received an unexpected message. What? He attacked my subordinates, even after hearing my name?
In a magnificent hall where golden light poured down from the lamps, a powerful man sat on a tiger skin-covered throne. Before him, a player in orange attire respectfully knelt, head bowed low. "Yes, sir," the player replied. The man on the throne spoke, his voice cold and authoritative, echoing throughout the room. "Bring him here, at any cost." At the same time, a gleaming gold bar was forcefully placed on the table, emitting a dry clink like an affirmation of an undeniable command. The leader's face was shrouded in shadow, revealing only his glowing red eyes that sparked with hatred. He pointed his finger straight ahead, his words hissing through clenched teeth, filled with indignation. "I will make you pay for daring to disregard my reputation." His venomous oath seemed to dissipate into the air, blending with the red maple leaves slowly falling in a distant forest. Amidst this scene, Hyrkan stopped, his eyes wide in astonishment. He murmured in surprise, "Well, it seems I've finally arrived." A strong wind blew through the deep canyon where he and his skeleton army were marching on a rugged path. Soon after, a blue system notification appeared, confirming his destination, Bear Warrior Spawn Zone.
With a sharp, confident smile, Hyrkan turned around and shouted, "All right, shall we go? Hey, skeleton soldiers, are you ready?" The confident expression on Hyrkan's face immediately turned into annoyance. "What in the hell are you doing? Stop this nonsense at once." Faced with their master's wrath, the skeleton soldiers immediately cowered, their expressions remorseful. After reorganizing the formation, Hyrkan grew stern, his voice becoming resolute as he explained the mission. "Today, we're going to hunt a bear warrior. It's level 70 and has 3 3-face, so we need to prepare thoroughly for this battle." He stood on a high mound, behind him the desolate battlefield, smoke and fire, his sword powerfully planted in the ground. His gaze swept over the entire army awaiting orders below. "But once we take it down, we'll be able to surpass the top 30 guilds in main quest progression. So I expect no mistakes whatsoever. Understood?" In response to his decisive command, all the skeleton soldiers stood at attention in unison, saluting with disciplined precision.
Hyrkan closed his eyes, softly instructing his skeleton army, "Just do exactly what we practiced." Suddenly, a heavy surge of killing intent arrived, causing the ground to tremble slightly. Hyrkan's eyes snapped open, a cold, sharp smile briefly appearing on his lips as he turned to look into the darkness. Speak of the devil. No, in this case, speak of the bear would be more accurate. Behind him, the skeleton soldiers looked up at their master, their eye sockets glittering with admiration. From within the thick fog, a colossal figure gradually emerged. It was a humanoid monster with a bear's head, its heavily muscled body encased in weighty metal armor, and in its hand was a gigantic blade. Its eyes glowed with fierce, blood-red light. An information panel appeared before Hyrkan, confirming the enemy's identity. Bear Warrior, level 70. "Let's begin," Hyrkan whispered with determination. He quickly raised his hand, his index finger pressing a glowing blue device on his wrist. A mechanical voice rang out, "Equipment slot, activate." Instantly, the Bear Warrior roared, a ground-shaking sound of fury that seemed to rip through space itself. At the same moment, a mysterious blue energy burst from Hyrkan. The familiar Hahoe mask materialized to cover half his face, and dark, spiky armor swiftly enveloped his body. Standing amidst the chaotic energy vortex, Hyrkan held his head high, ready for the life-or-death confrontation.
Amidst the swirling dark aura, Hyrkan wore a confident and arrogant smile. "This main quest," he declared decisively, "I will take on myself." Meanwhile, elsewhere, under a clear blue sky dotted with vibrant red maple leaves, Hatch gazed towards the majestic mountain range in the distance. He mumbled, "That must be the Bulkus mountain range." Soon after, Hatch strode along the forest path, his mind fully focused on the task at hand. "I came here right after watching the video about the armored monkey. I hope the Hahoe mask is still there." However, his footsteps suddenly halted. He remained silent for a long moment before leaning against a tree trunk, his face clearly showing frustration and annoyance. Damn it, why do I have to come to this godforsaken place? Hatch grumbled in irritation. I'm supposed to be an important figure, yet they sent me here just to catch a rookie.
Hatch trembled and shouted, "What? Use force if he doesn't comply? Is this a crime?" Right in front of him was a gigantic level 65 king boar, its blood-red eyes rolling wildly, its sharp tusks pointed directly at its prey. Panic quickly quelled. In an instant, Hatch snapped his head up, his eyes sharpening. He raised his staff, a surge of magic exploding violently. Furious flames roared, charging straight at the monster. A blazing red magic array appeared before the boar, and the fire engulfed it in screams. Hatch stood with his back turned, quietly watching the monster burn to ashes. He mumbled, "Seriously, I really want to quit."
Amidst the mystical blue light where faded red petals drifted, Hatch, 5th rank, stood there, looking tired and tense. His gaze was fixed forward, filled with anticipation mixed with impatience. He silently pleaded in his mind, "Please appear, Hahoe Mask."